life was black and white before I met Sonia. She was the color.
She walked past him 100 times before she ever really saw him. In a building filled with athletes, coaches, and the constant buzz of match days, one face blended into the crowd of many. But sometimes, the person meant to change your entire life is standing right in front of you, and you just don't know it yet. This is the story of how a marketing manager from Slovakia and a footballer from Ghana found something neither of them was looking for in the most unexpected place imaginable. Lucia Svoreňová worked as a marketing manager for a football club in Slovakia. Her days were filled with promotional campaigns, match coverage, social media strategies, and the controlled chaos that comes with managing a sports brand. The players came and went. She'd see them at team lunches, on the sidelines during matches, in the hallways between meetings. They were part of the landscape, part of the job. Among them was Ivan Enokie Mensah, a player on the club's B team. He was just another athlete doing his job, chasing his dreams on the pitch. She never paid much attention to him. Why would she? There were so many players, so many faces. Her mind was somewhere else entirely. Lucia wasn't happy. She was in a relationship that had stopped feeling like love and started feeling like habit. The kind of relationship where you go through the motions because it's easier than facing the truth. But deep down, she knew. She knew she deserved more. She knew something had to change. And so, she made one of the hardest decisions a person can make. She ended it. Walking away from something familiar, even when it's broken, takes courage. And when it was finally over, Lucia made herself a promise. She would be alone for a while. She would focus on herself, her work, her peace. No distractions, no complications. Just time to breathe and heal. But life has a funny way of ignoring our plans. At first, Lucia and Ivan were nothing more than colleagues. They existed in the same space, exchanged polite words, nodded in passing. That was it. Then slowly, almost imperceptibly, things began to shift. It started with messages, simple ones at first, work-related, casual, but then they became more frequent. A question here, a joke there, conversations that lasted longer than they needed to. And somewhere along the way, Lucia started noticing him, really noticing him, the way he smiled, the way he carried himself, the energy he brought into a room without even trying. And he noticed her too. The messages turned into something neither of them could ignore. There was a pull, a curiosity, something natural and effortless growing between them. And that's when the question came. Would she want to meet? Not as colleagues, not at a match or a team lunch, just the two of them. A real conversation, a real moment. Lucia said yes. But there was one problem she hadn't anticipated. Her English was, in her own words, catastrophic. Ivan spoke English fluently. Lucia? Not so much. She could barely string a sentence together without stumbling over her words. But somehow, that didn't matter. Because what they were building didn't rely on perfect grammar or flawless pronunciation. It was about something deeper. That first meeting changed everything. The moment Lucia saw Ivan, something clicked. It wasn't just attraction, though that was there too. It was something she couldn't quite put into words. His vibe, his smile, the energy he radiated, it was like sunlight breaking through clouds. She felt something she had never felt before. Not in her previous relationship. Not with anyone. It was overwhelming in the best possible way. A warmth that spread through her chest and refused to leave. She remembers sitting across from him, trying to find the right English words, stumbling and laughing at herself, and realizing that none of that mattered because he was smiling too. He wasn't judging her. He wasn't frustrated. He was just there, fully present, making her feel seen in a way she hadn't felt in years. From that very first date, Lucia knew. She knew this wasn't just another relationship. She knew Ivan was different. She knew this was the person she'd been waiting for without even realizing she was waiting. It's rare to feel that kind of certainty so quickly. Most people spend months, even years, wondering if the person they're with is the right one. But Lucia didn't have to wonder. She just knew. And the best part? Ivan felt it too. Their relationship blossomed in a way that felt almost too easy. They both came from the world of football. They understood the demands, the pressure, the passion that came with the sport. Lucia knew what it meant to support a player's career because she'd spent years working behind the scenes, building brands, promoting matches, celebrating victories, and navigating defeats. Ivan knew the grind, the sacrifices, the hunger to prove yourself on the field. They spoke the same language. Even when their actual languages didn't quite match up yet, they understood each other's work in a way that made everything feel balanced. There was no resentment, no jealousy, no competition, just mutual respect and unwavering support. And Lucia's English? It started improving, rapidly, because when you're falling in love with someone who speaks a different language, you find a way. Every conversation became a lesson. Every text message became practice. Every date pushed her to try harder, speak more confidently, laugh at her mistakes, and keep going. Ivan was patient. He never made her feel small for not knowing a word or mispronouncing something. He encouraged her, and slowly, but surely, the barrier that once seemed impossible to cross became smaller and smaller. But what made their relationship truly beautiful wasn't just the shared passion for football or the language they were learning together. It was the way they showed up for each other. Lucia became Ivan's biggest supporter. She was there at his matches, cheering louder than anyone else. She was there after tough games, reminding him of his worth when doubt crept in. She was his girlfriend, his best friend, and his #1 fan, all rolled into one. And Ivan gave her something she'd been missing for so long: genuine love. The kind that doesn't ask you to shrink yourself or hide your ambitions. The kind that celebrates you exactly as you are. Their story is a reminder that love doesn't always announce itself with fireworks and grand gestures. Sometimes it starts quietly, with a message, a glance, a conversation that lasts a little longer than expected. Sometimes the person who will change your life is someone you've walked past a dozen times without a second thought. Sometimes love finds you when you've decided you don't need it, when you've told yourself you're better off alone, when you're focused on healing and moving forward. And sometimes the most beautiful relationships are the ones that feel natural from the very beginning, like two puzzle pieces that were always meant to fit together. Lucia and Ivan's love story is still being written. They're building something real in Slovakia, navigating cultural differences, language barriers, and the challenges that come with any relationship, but doing it with grace, humor, and an unshakable belief in each other. They've proven that love doesn't care about borders, backgrounds, or the obstacles that seem insurmountable at first glance. Love just is, and when it's right, you know. You feel it in your bones, in your heart, in every smile that lights up your world. Lucia says she's never felt emotions like the ones Ivan gives her. She still can't fully describe them, and maybe that's the point. Maybe the best kind of love is the kind that defies description, that makes you feel things you didn't know were possible, that reminds you what it means to be truly, deeply, unapologetically happy. And to Ivan Anokie Mensa, she says simply, I love you. I will always be there for you as a fan, a girlfriend, and a best friend. If this story reminded you that love can find you in the most unexpected places, hit that like button. Drop a comment and tell us about a time someone walked into your life when you least expected it. And don't forget to subscribe, because everyone deserves to believe in love stories like this one.